we have a first, second, and third place in the open-ended prize pool. The first place will get 8 million sats, second will get 5 million sats, and third is up for a whole 2 million satoshis. And then each of the 5 challenges, of which there are 5, if you happen to get that challenge, you will get 2 million satoshis.
Incredible. Logistics. We're going to talk about how to get DQ'd from the hackathon.
What does DQ'd mean?
Disqualified.
Okay, so don't get disqualified.
Yeah, but before we talk about that, we're going to talk about DevPost. All of the logistics for this hackathon are running through a service called DevPost, and we squatted on a pretty cool DevPost subdomain. We got bitcoin.devpost.com. So if you navigate there now, you'll see the DevPost website. It contains the information you need to submit your project. That's how we're going to be accounting for teams. So very early, as soon as you know who you're going to be hacking with, I recommend making a submission on DevPost. It does not, we're not basically going to be using the DevPost submissions for judging. That's all like the presentations. But you just got to get your name in the system, and it's really easy to forget. So just early, make a DevPost submission. And in addition to being the submission platform, it also contains all of the details we're talking about, as well as more details. So come here if you have questions.
Great.
Now, the fun part. How to get DQ'd from the hackathon. There's only a few rules, but make sure you follow them or you'll get DQ'd. That was supposed to
That's a lot of words. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So the first point is that you should be in a team. Highly encourage team competition spirit here. But there's an upper limit on the block size of your team. You can only have 4 people on a team. So up to 4.
Fantastic. Yeah, and another rule, at least one of your team members must be present in person to do the demo. If you don't have anybody to present your project, you will not be considered for the prizes, unfortunately.
Yes, we're very proud of doing in-person hackathons, and this one is no exception. And rule 3, no development may start before the start date and time of the hackathon. And does this kickoff constitute as the hackathon kicking off?
Yeah, yes, but absolutely. So now everything is fair game. But if you had any prior work up until this point on your hackathon project, just RMTAC-RF, you know, get a NIT, new repo. That's not necessarily true. You can use existing projects, but you need to specify what was actually built during the hackathon period, and that constitutes your project. You can't claim prior work as a part of your hackathon submission. So just make sure it's really, really clear to judges exactly what you built during the hackathon.
So the point here is not that you aren't building, it's not that you're building something from scratch. It's that you've got proof of work that you did something during the hackathon time, right? So that's really
It's only fair, right?
Only fair, yeah.
Don't get DQ'd. We have a star-studded panel of judges. We have Nifty Nye, who runs like the best technical Bitcoin conferences in the world. We have the inventors of the primary or the predominant ecash protocols in the Bitcoin ecosystem, Ilsirian and Kali. Yeah, this is the star-studded panel of judges.
Yeah, if you want to say you won an ecash competition, this is the one, I think. Yeah, there you go.
This is the Super Bowl of ecash. Now, how are judges going to be judging projects? Lisa, would you like to talk about the inspiration?
I would love to talk about this. So we started doing this in Austin this year for our hackathon projects. The open-ended general category, we're going to judge as if we're the Olympics judging a gymnastics competition. So we're going to get, I think we have 3 kind of numbers, from 0 to 10 in 3 different categories. The first category is going to be what we call routine difficulty. So based on the work that you've done during the hackathon, how hard of a thing was that? Did you try to do something challenging, or were you just trying to do something that is pretty like regular, but that will work in the end? Is kind of the idea there. So on gymnastics, based on how many twists your flips have, that's a higher difficulty. So that's the first one. How difficult of a project did you attempt? And then the second one is how well did you carry out that attempt? So did you try something really hard, but you weren't super successful? You'd get a high difficulty rating, but your execution score would be lower because you weren't able to actually execute on your difficult vision in the time allotted, which is totally fine. If you try something really hard and you really pull it off really well, you would get a high difficulty and a high execution score. And then the last category is one that we've added. I don't think it's in the normal Olympics, but it's basically like general effect is how flashy is it? Is it cool? Like this is, kind of how much personal flair and ambition did you put into the project that you picked? And that will also be a score of 0 to 10. So the judges will rank each project in each of these categories, and then we'll pick, we'll rank them by the numbers that you come out with.
Yeah. Also, if you have a really good idea and you're just bad at implementing it, or you like don't do it, that would be general effects. So if you blow everybody away with your amazing quality, game-changing, world-changing idea, that would give you a high general effect score. Okay, let's talk about the challenges.
Challenging topic, yeah.
Amazing. Challenge number 1, Fediment Guardian UX. Let's just read the prompt. That's a good idea. I'll start with the first one, and we can alternate. So, Fediment Guardian UX. In Fediment, each ecash mint is operated by a few trusted custodians called guardians. Together, the guardians form a federation that custodies the funds and manages operations within the mint. Within a Fediment instance, everything is federated across the guardians. So every action authorizing social recovery, changing the name of the federation, adjusting settings, etc., requires a threshold of guardians to approve the action. And this creates incredibly unique UX challenges to make the process smooth, secure, and intuitive for the guardians involved. So your challenge, build an application that helps guardians manage their federation. On the dev post, there's some resources to help you get started with this. If you're interested in this project, there's an existing Fediment UI project. It's pretty rudimentary, but it's definitely a good starting point. By no means do you have to use that, but it's probably, you should definitely take a look at it.
Is this kind of like a multi-sig manager?
Yeah, it's like a multi-sig manager on steroids. It's managing your keys, but also managing all of the decisions you have to make as a guardian.
Oh, okay. Like a DAO.
Like a DAO, yeah, exactly.
Fediment observer. So when you're not passing governance decisions and thinking about the UX for it, we have outside observers who are keeping track of what decisions the guardians are making. We call it Fediment observer. So it's designed to kind of think of it like a mempool.space. It's a place where you can get good information about what's happening on your Fediment, what kind of decisions maybe that the federates are making. Is that?
Yeah, it's more like the overall statistics, the public statistics of the mints. Like a lot of Fediments is actually public. Anybody can get a lot of information about the mint, but it's all about like the aggregate activity. So from that data, you can get some meaningful insights.
So this is the spyware for Federation.
Yeah, or external auditing tools.
So yes, auditing tool. That makes sense. Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Public stuff is good. Yeah, very good.
Yeah, no, you probably learned about this at Tasio and Lefteris' talk, also at Brad's talk. So lots of cool things you can build with data. So the challenge explicitly is to extend Fediment Observer or to build something awesome with the data.
So it's like a data intelligence project, kind of.
Yeah, it's like we have this source of data, and right now it only looks like a bunch of SQL queries. And mempool.space is freaking gorgeous, so we got to compete.
Cool. Number 3?
Sure. Ecash and Lightning liquidity. This encompasses basically every thing that you might do with Lightning and ecash at a protocol level. So liquidity management is a persistent challenge in the Lightning network. Node runners often grapple with depleted channels and balanced liquidity and the complexity of channel rebalancing or opening new channels, all of which can be costly and time-consuming. Your challenge, use ecash cleverly to fix one of these Lightning networks, or fix one of Lightning network's many liquidity problems. This could be swapping HTLCs for ecash in an atomic way. This could be a rebalancing tool that pays ecash out of band. There's a ton of things that you could do. Feel free to reach out for ideas. I know Callie has a ton of ideas that he wants people to build. So.
I got to say, people call liquidity management on Lightning a challenge. I want you to reframe it as an opportunity.
Yeah, an opportunity. Yeah. It's a problem to solve. Yeah.
Liquidity management opportunities is I think there's some real opportunity there. It's all, yeah.
Absolutely. It's a green enterprise.
That's opportunity number 3 for yourselves.
Yeah.
Anyways, opportunity number 4 is a cashew point of sale. So ecash, as you might have heard, unlocks several magical UX features for Bitcoin payments, including offline payments. So this opportunity is to create a point of sale application that accepts ecash with a focus on magical user experience.
Yeah, there's a lot of people in the Cashew ecosystem that are passionate about the things, the UX features that it unlocks. So
now that I'm thinking about it, I was like, I wonder if we could have if you're successful at this one, maybe we can figure out how to use it on the barbecue on Sunday to buy. I don't know.
great idea.
Anyways,
Cool.
that's not a real. We'll see. Okay. Yeah.
Fantastic.
Number 5.
Number 5, generic ecash backup and recovery. This one's focused towards Cashew as well. One of the challenges with ecash wallets generally is the risk of losing access to funds when you lose your device. So backups are a requirement. We need secure, user-friendly, hopefully interoperable backups that work with different mints and different wallets so that users can be confident that their funds aren't going to be lost regardless of what tool they're using. So your challenge is to figure out a way to do backups correctly. Nobody's really figured out a perfect way. So Fediment does something interesting with using the Federation, but that's not as possible with Cashew. So yeah, your goal is to build something that can help Cashew wallets back up and recover their funds in the event that they lose their device. Any questions about any of those challenges? I'm sure there will be Telegram.
Opportunities, yeah. An opportunity for questions. Yeah. The question is the number 5 already done?
Is it done?
So we should ask Kali about it.
Yeah, I did approve this challenge with him, so I think there's room for improvements on whatever exists. Multi-device.
It's just an add multi-device. Okay.
Maybe, yeah, that's a good idea. Okay, that's all of the
Speaking of advice.
Advice, yeah. So if you want to win the hackathon, listen up. Here's some advice about the Zen of hack.
First and foremost, no stress allowed. It's only
36.
more than 36 hours. So you might change the world, but no one's expecting you to. And the most important thing is that you show up and talk about what you were trying to accomplish. We want to hear about what your ideas are and what you thought was worth spending time on in an effort to, win some opportunity prizes. So, don't worry about it. Come and talk about what you wanted to do and how far you got about it, and we're excited to hear about it.
Number 2, you want to maximize the fun. Hackathons are a time of where you're working and you're really not getting promised any money for it. So if you have 2 ideas, pick the one that's more fun. It'll probably be more competitively successful as well. Spend hackathons building what you want to build, not what you think you ought to build.
3, quantity is more important than quality. Okay, so don't showing up. Basically, it doesn't have to be perfect. As long as you've got something and you've made more of an effort at getting it working to a working prototype, that's way more important than having a really beautiful and well-polished project. So I think effort maybe is more important than perfection here.
Absolutely. Yeah, you keep showing up, the quality comes. And lastly, we kind of said this before, but whatever you build, demo it. Even if you didn't write a single line of code, even if it was just an idea and you wanted to submit, or you should demo anyways. Just go hard for 24 hours, see what happens. It'll be fun. And that is it.
Great. Thanks, Alex. There any last questions about the hackathon? And then I've got a couple announcements about the after party. Do you want to maybe pull up the
Sure.
satellites on the website so we can chat about that? But while Alex is finding the website thing, does anyone have any questions or concerns? Or, I don't know, need advice finding a team for the hackathon? Do we have any suggestions about how to find a team?
Oh, that's a great point. Yeah, if you want a team for the hackathon, stay here. Come towards this stage. We'll do matchmaking right now.
Wait, maybe the thing. What time is it? Does anyone have an eye on the time?
5:20.
5:20. Okay, so I think maybe we can go to the drinks party and do okay. So we are going to. So after this, we're having an open party. It says 7 o'clock, but they said people can go ahead and head over after this if you want to. So I think some of us will be wandering over there shortly at 6. And that is, I think the Human Rights Foundation has kindly bought the first round of drinks or 2 for people, and I think there might be some food. I think it's the whole space is reserved for us. So
Cool.
great. That's available after this, and I think that's everything.
HRF is based.
Right, so there's a party after this, and then tomorrow we start at 10 a.m. Back here. So look forward to seeing everyone for day 2. Thanks.
Awesome.